Our next query is already in. So, Parul Parik writes to us from Bangalore. She recently started working and wants to know how much she can invest in mutual funds. She also wants to know whether or not she should invest in fixed deposits or mutual funds. Feroze, how can you help her out? She just started working. She's already thinking, because I believe that she's only around 20 years old. She wants to know whether she should go for fixed deposits or in fact go in for mutual funds.
See, Parul, I think you are young enough to actually have a long period of time to actually meet your goals, because you're starting early. So I would strongly suggest that fixed deposits should just be a portion of your portfolio to create some stability and to meet the contingency requirements as and when they occur. Otherwise, I think for a person as young as you, mutual funds, equity mutual funds in specific, would actually be able to create immense amount of value and wealth over long periods of time. So I think you should at least have 70 to 75% of your net disposable income, which you are intending to save, into equity mutual funds, for which I will recommend 3 equity mutual funds and 1 debt mutual fund. For the debt mutual fund, you can probably swap it to an FD if you have a liking towards it. So SBI Blue Chip, which is a large cap fund, would be one recommendation. HDFC Mid Cap Fund, which is mid cap stocks, it picks up potential large caps of the future, and then Reliance Equity Opportunities, which is capitalization agnostic. So these 3 equity funds, and on the debt fund category, you can look at a Franklin Templeton corporate bond and a Prima fund in the equity category on the mid cap space could also be added to your portfolio, Parul.
Okay, well, Parul, I hope that answers your query. But let's get to another query that we have. Welcome back. Well, it's stable for the markets, but there is one stock that we need to keep our eye out on, and that's Hindustan Unilever. That stock is quite pressured ahead of its numbers and has been. So remember that it's expected to come out post 2 p.m. today, and now it's 2:20, so maybe we should be expecting the numbers. HUL is currently down around 1.7% ahead of its numbers. But let's get back to a couple of queries then. We have Gaurav Girdhar, who calls in from Pune, and he has a personal finance query. Gaurav, go ahead.
Yeah, my question was, given the current economic scenario and the financial scenario, which asset class should I invest in so as to maximize my returns?
Okay. How much are you willing to invest, and in what time frame, and for how long?
Time frame would be 1 to 2 years, and investment per month like 5 to 10,000.
Okay. All right. Feroze, what would you recommend to Gaurav?
Gaurav, if I can know what your age is, that'll help me give you more specific advice.
25.
Sorry, I missed it. 25?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. See, Gaurav, if let's answer the first part of the question. From an economic standpoint, like if you look at the contemporary situation, it's very clear that equities would be the asset class to be in, as against debt or real estate or precious metal for that matter. Equity is going to be one asset which I think will do reasonably well and benefit from all the macroeconomic variables which are favoring equity. So I would say that build your portfolio revolving around equity, and then you might have these peripheral assets which will actually support the core asset. So if that's the situation, I think I would urge you to actually extend your time frames from beyond 1 to 2 years, because equity is a long-term asset and gives you that compounding benefit largely and creates wealth for you over longer periods of time. I think you should extend it, especially if your age is about 24, 25. I think you should at least give equities about 4 to 5 years so that it can give you that compounding effect of 17, 18% CAGR, cumulative annual growth rate, I mean. And I will recommend you 2, 3 funds. I think those would be the best ones to start an SIP with, which is systematic investment plan, a monthly regular investment. So the first one is an SBI Blue Chip Fund, a Mirai India Equity Opportunities Fund, and you can look at a HDFC Mid Cap. These 3 equity funds, I think, should do the trick for you.
All right, Gaurav, hope you listened to that advice. So maybe you could extend your time horizon, in fact, look at equities as well.